All right, that's what we're looking for. Things are nice and flush. And it's square. I checked it for square. It's perfect. Granted, it's not glued up, but I think I can keep it square when I glue it. You're probably wondering why I use the tight setting on both pieces. And this is my rationale behind that. If you use that loose fitting, I think that over time you'll have more wiggle factor there, obviously. And I think that with the tight setting, it's just going to be a much stronger joint and last that much longer. So that's my reason for going tight on both of them. And using that jig, the story stick, and just using the top marks up here, I'm able to get it right on the money. You just got to take your time and line up the mark, and that's going to be great. So I've got the front and back done this way. Now I've got to do the other side with that 1/4 inch offset. So I'll change out my my Dama plate, put in that spacer that you saw me make, and we'll attack the other side here. Then our basic frame is ready to go. Perfect. 1/4 inch relief, just like I wanted. Nice and flush. Beautiful. All right, my first dry fit of the frame here, and I'm kind of at a crossroads of what I want to do next. And I think what I am going to do is build the panels next. I'm just checking there. It looked like a dent, but it's just a shadow. This is going to be the front. So this will be filled with the doors. And so I need a panel here and a panel in the back. And then the next thing I need to be concerned about is how I'm going to affix these shelves to the frame. So the top one is no problem. That's just going to sit on top with relief or saw curves in here to hold my S-clips, and then I'll screw the top down to that. The middle shelf and the bottom shelf, that's what I need to figure out here. Make these panels first. And incidentally, the panel, what I ended up with was a 1/2 inch plywood. MDO, it's called signboard. It's got a little paper skin on it to take paint really well. So that 1/2 inch will give me a room to put a 1/4 inch deep groove in there to set my shelf into. Okay, so now I guess what I need to do is I need to mark these so that I make sure they go back the way they're supposed to. There's square right there. And then also make marks for my panel. So and that's the other thing, the panel will be inset 1/4 of an inch. Maybe even a little more than that. I think I'm going to make it so it's flush to the inside, and whatever the reveal is on the outside, I'll just live with that. Yeah, that's not a big deal. So flush, it'll be flush to the inside. That'll give me a nice face here to work with. I also took that piece, that test piece I made for the leg, and I took some of the drops from my my rails here to make a mock-up of of what the notch I'm going to need to make in the shelves here. So that'll be helpful. Okay, so here's my 1/2 inch MDO. You can see this paper skin on it. So I've taken a long rail and a short one, and then I've got to measure this way to get the length I need, or the height, I guess. This is be the height. I'm going to go way strong. I'm going to go 30 inches. Because I've got to square this up. I took my square and this panel is not square. So there's 30. Then for this piece I'm going to get it going this way. And I'm just going to go 11 inches. So I'm going to make my first cut at 41. And I'm going to take and use this edge and put my track saw on here and get my rip. Now you can see where this extrusion is helping me out greatly here as well. I'll be able to clamp both pieces so that, actually I'm going to slide it over a little bit so that when this piece lets go, it's not going to fall off on me and that one won't fall in on me. So that's a nice little feature as well. I think I may put another piece of extrusion underneath here on this side. Same thickness, just to give it a little more stability over there. I'll show you how that's going to work here in a minute when I get things set up. Okay, I did put another piece of extrusion underneath here, and that'll give me support this way. This one's clamped. Well, the weight is out here. So if anything, it'll want to just fall a little bit that way, but I've got it clamped. And I've clamped my extrusion to the bottom and out here because it is such a long reach. The chances of that thing moving are pretty great. Check it for square one last time here. Now that looks good. And we're ready to go. Alright, I think I can do the rest on the table saw now. So I'll break this down and put it away, but that's a nice, safe way to break down that sheet of plywood, making that first cut.